In this episode, our guest is Penhaligon Rutherfordium from Geminus II, where everyone has a twin.
Her quest for the unique brought her here to Milliways, where she serves as the restaurant's chief buyer of produce, protein, and spice.
So roll up your towel into a pillow, lean back, and
Prepare to learn about impossible cumin and the perils of nose booping.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome once again to the Hitchhikers and Appetizers podcast. I am Horatio Zinn, coming to you from Milliways, the restaurant at the end of the universe, here in booth 42. And with me, as always, you look at him and you think, is this a statue? Is this a statue of a god before me? A statue of a god that perhaps was not finished to the satisfaction of the sculptor? And he said, no, this is just fine the way it is. My co-host, my compadre, Trellis, Gardeen, Trellis.
That sculptor should be fired.
Yes.
Fired, I say, because no statue is complete until you've chipped, and kept chipping away until it's perfect.
And then add glaze.
Glaze, some color, some refinement, perhaps holding a spear.
Ooh.
Or other instrument of death, just to add to the heft. You know a lot about heft.
I noticed you have a spear with you, and you haven't had that before.
It's a toothpick from the Wham Bam Shrimp. It's shaped like a spear for, fun. But
You were holding it very close to me, so it seemed much larger.
Perspective-wise, yes. I noticed in the intro,
Yes.
You said restaurant.
Yes.
Is there something wrong with your T's? Do I have to worry about you calling me Rellis?
No, I was hoping to up the reputation of the restaurant by making it sound fancy. But if you say it in a strange way, it sounds like exotic.
But you're here, so there is no upping.
Perhaps the rest of the restaurant, but here in the booth it's a restaurant.
I think I want to hear the T's.
You want to hear the tea? Oh, how about restaurant? Let's compromise. Restaurant.
Okay.
That's fine. Good. Our guest is here, and our guest
Yes.
is saying, "Why are you ignoring me?" and saying it with her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But not in a rude way.
Oh, you know what? I just realized your T's are silent because I know how she spells her name, and she's got a silent letter in it too.
Ah, yes, that was an intentional tribute to our guest. Thank you for pointing.
I
that
knew
out.
it. I knew there had to be a
Yes,
reason.
that's what it was.
Well, welcome.
Yes. Would you like to introduce yourself, or would you like for us to introduce you?
I'd like you to introduce me. I'd like to hear how you say it.
I'm going to attempt, and then we're going to have Trellis attempt, because Trellis often cannot pronounce words properly because of the hole in his tongue. So I'm going to try Penhaligon Rutherfordium.
Ah,
Is that?
it's beautiful. It's like music to my ears.
I should record that. I'll put that as a demo. Send it around. We know a DJ.
Oh, I know a guy.
Now,
very good.
Oh, Trellis, now you say it.
What Horatio said, since he got it right.
Well done. You pronounced my name right, and that was wonderful. Welcome to the program. This is one of our series of interviews with behind-the-scenes figures here at Milliways, and you are one of them. One of the most prestigious, I think.
Yes, I like to think so. Singular in my way, really, right?
One of a kind.
Truly unique. And that's important to me, because of where I come from.
Where are you from?
Oh, Planet Geminus II?
Oh, Geminus II.
Geminus II. There's something about that name that is intriguing. I know I want to hear more about it, and I assume our listeners do too.
Well, it's a place where everyone has a twin.
Oh.
Oh my.
Yes, and as you can imagine, it's ridiculous and sometimes sublimely absurd.
Does everyone dress the same? Or not everyone. Do all the twins? Does your other half?
Often, but there are those that are not identical, and they are not allowed to remain on planet. They go to Geminus 1.
Both of them?
Oh, no, not all are identical.
Yes. Truthfully, if you're not an identical twin, then you're out of there. It's like you're gone. You gotta be gone.
That does not sound very fair.
It's not. It's unkind.
Oh, my.
I, unfortunately, am an identical twin.
Oh, but then why are you gone?
I wanted a sense of singularity. I wanted to be unique. And so I have traveled the universe, the many, many worlds.
So if you're identical twin, I'm curious, did you have to do something to your identical twin in order to assert your own independence in this way?
Were they banished to Geminus 1?
I had to leave. It was them or myself. So I chose to go.
So they're still there, they're still alive.
Yes.
So are they alive in a manner of speaking, or are they actually alive?
I have lawyers that say I shouldn't say too much.
Oh.
Well, that sounds... You should almost always do what the lawyers say, unless, of course, it's detrimental to you.
But Horatio, you and Trellis are unique individuals, so compatible and yet so defined as yourselves. Do you know what it's like to be just like another individual and yet nothing like another individual?
That sounds very rough, very rough. When did you first notice the difference between you and your identical twin?
I would like to...
Yeah,
in the womb, I'd like to think.
Were you already sentient in the womb?
I thought I was.
Well, then you must have been.
You think, therefore you are, right?
I love the way you think, exactly. You see, here's the thing. I know what you're thinking. Twins, world of twins, some identical, some not. What's coming to mind, of course, evil twin.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
of course. The elephant of the room, the elephant with the goatee in the room, yes.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. I, of course, was not the evil twin. I'm the good twin.
Yes, you're obviously clean-shaven.
Well, thank goodness.
Yes, you don't have a
Yes.
goatee, a strange goatee or something like that.
No. Unlike some here.
Oh, yes.
That gentleman over at booth 46.
No one
Obviously.
evil could do the job that you do
No.
and be the head purchaser of produce and protein and spice. And let me tell you, kudos on the spice work because
Oh, wonderful.
head chef Beth's Wham Bam sauce, I mean, start to finish flavor.
Especially...
Much like myself. That's people have said that about me, that I'm start to finish flavor. And so I like to think of myself as a connoisseur of that sort of thing.
Yes. Oh, no, I was going to say you add the thank you, ma'am, to the Wham Bam sauce.
Yes.
And
Well,
that is
you
like
know.
a pound of cumin in there or something like that.
It's definitely like a pound of cumin, but it's not a pound of cumin.
No.
Oh,
No.
it's not?
No, it's...
Is this like impossible cumin?
It is? Damn. Oh, am I allowed to say that? Do I need to put...
Oh, yes. Just don't say Belgium.
Oh,
Did I mention not to say Belgium?
Horatio.
Don't say Belgium.
Come on.
Did I say Belgium?
Oh, dear.
Stop it.
I feel like I should go out and come back in again.
Oh, no, it's all right.
I have to clean my food off. It's just got so filthy in here.
Here, I have some wipes. Here, if you want to
Dirty.
use those handy wipes. They're
Dirty.
clean, most of them.
You know, Chef Beth, I'm not one to blow my own horn, but Chef Beth actually said she couldn't really make thank you ma'am Wham Bam sauce until I was able to find a particular spice not normally sourced in this region.
Is this spice a secret, or would you want to illuminate us on this spice? Hip us to the
This
spice.
really is a look behind the curtain.
Honestly, if I tell you, then my head will be removed because, you know, Beth and her
Yes.
predilections from her planetary...
Lobbing off heads.
I thought that was only if you went into the kitchen uninvited. She chops off heads if you reveal trade secrets.
It would be an insult, and you know how she responds to insults. So.
Very true.
Yes.
Very true.
Yes.
I think she has a sign. I think she's expanded the reasons why she would lob a head off.
Oh, yes.
You talk when you're not supposed to, that's a lobbing.
That's
Things
a
like
lobbing.
that. That's
I
a
like the
lobbing.
way you put that.
Why limit yourself? Why keep yourself confined to only one reason for taking someone's head off?
Also, if you just happen to feel like it, why not? What harm can it do?
She is a chef. You know, they are known for a fiery temper. So...
Yes. Also, I'm sure she has a good reason. If she's going to lob her head off, I'm sure she has a good reason.
It might end up on the menu. And that's a good
A
reason.
head. Yes. You might want to have a head and stuff it with cheese, something like that.
Well, you know, we had a wedding coming in here.
Oh, God. Oh, I'm
Really?
sorry. Oh.
Well, you may not be aware, but there's a function room in the back.
Oh, we were wondering what was going on in there.
Yeah.
The doors are remarkable. The markings, the carvings on them are incredibly lifelike. And the laser show that pops up when the doors open is just incredible. But I didn't realize that was where they had functions and weddings and things of that nature, because I feel like I haven't seen any bridal parties going. Have I missed them?
They have a separate entrance.
Oh, very good. Yes, it's good. That's good.
Does that
You don't
cost-
want to
does
see
that
them
cost
going
extra?
in.
No, it's like the velvet rope area of the whole valet parking situation, and then there's a hidden door, and they go right through there.
Oh my, that's
There. What's like the most interesting spice request you've got?
oh yes, yes.
Well, I was asked to get a spice for a dignitary dinner, and it turns out that spice is actually a sentient creature in another planet.
Probably didn't want to become a spice.
Did not want to become a spice, but is quite popular in some places.
A force spice.
Well, they're very tiny creatures to begin with, so
Bite-sized.
they grind up very nicely. Sorry.
What kind of sound? I'm sorry, I'm just intrigued. What kind of sounds do they make when you grind them up?
That's morbid.
I know, but I'm just curious because I'd like to know. I'd like to, if I'm sitting here at the table and I hear this sound, I go, oh, look, more of that wonderful spice being made.
Well, it's a cross between a tiny cricket
Yes.
and someone lamenting the advent of disco.
Oh, yes. All right, that makes sense. I can hear that. Definitely, I know I've heard that coming from there. Now I know what that
It's like cricket with that high-pitched keening of why.
How'd you gather these beings up?
Well, I fortunately don't have to get them. I just have to buy them and bring them back.
Okay.
very good. You don't have to hunt them or anything.
Which probably removes a lot of the responsibility and guilt, I assume.
Especially the guilt, yes. Especially the guilt portion.
Oh, yes. Distancing yourself from that's important.
Now, you mentioned grinding. Ever dried them up and let them powdered form?
I did watch the process.
Oh.
I watched it because it was important for me to know that there was a singular quality to the work, that it wasn't... She only will have boutique spices, so I was very careful to make sure this was, sourced and processed in a unique and singular manner. And it's devastating because there's a
To the population, yes.
literally to the population, but to the soul of anyone who cares, like Horatio and yourself, Trellis. I think you'd have a very hard time watching this.
I probably will.
That's probably why I shouldn't watch it, because I want to be able to enjoy the fruit.
Horatio just wants to see it once it's on the plate. He doesn't want to know what goes into it. Just does it look good? Does it taste good? Other than that,
It's a lovely cloud-like powdery substance that velvety melts into the sauce and creates this collusion of flavor and trepidation. It's delightful.
Horatio's true.
I must have this sauce.
She's working on something new, but I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Oh, this is intriguing.
Well, when it is ready, hopefully we can get a preview.
Probably shouldn't talk about my work outside of Milliways, but may I?
Oh no, you're
yeah.
inside the
Well, you're
confines
in.
of Milliways.
Yeah, we're in Milliways,
Your
so.
voice will escape Milliways, but you will be here.
Well, how's it going to escape into a vacuum of space?
Oh,
Horatio.
Fair enough.
Very true. We are at the end of all things, aren't we?
Yes.
But literally, though, I mean the work I do outside of my job at Milliways.
Oh. Is this a peek behind the curtain behind the curtain?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. I find things for people that are unique and singular, and
A finder of unique things.
yes. So Horatio, Trellis, what is it you long for? There's only one of, or 'tis lost, or
That is a good question. Probably the perfect nose.
Oh yes, he's been seeking that for years. Hold on, let me find my duffel bag. Here's the photo album.
oh,
You take a look at the. Here's you just flip through while we're talking.
Just,
You flip through.
just if you flip really fast, it looks like it animates to what you see right now, from where the
Yes,
beginning was.
These are the history of Trellis's face, essentially. is what
There's a
this
lot,
book is.
so I mean, you may just want to skip to the end because it could take you 20 minutes
oh,
to if you really wanted to flip through and see the
Just
the
watch
full
it morph and change.
transformation.
this one must have been when you were in your adolescence.
Let me see. Oh yeah, that was my rebellious phase.
I also noticed that it came complete with some zits, some on there too.
And a piercing, if I look closely.
Oh yes. That was the Rings of Nebulon. And my parents were not happy.
No.
At all.
All right, now, this substantiates a rumor, and I'm going to go right there.
I've got a rumor? Oh, nice.
Rumor Central.
Trellis, everyone knows you were in the VIP room backstage of Disaster Area's last show.
This is true.
Yes,
Very true. Yes.
He had a pass.
Opening for them,
I
Blue...
snuck in. I didn't need a pass.
No, well, you made the pass. You had a pass. You had made it yourself.
Okay. All right.
You were a punk! Admit it!
I was.
Yeah.
I have no problem admitting this. Is that what the rumor was?
Well, the rumor was it was you that put Jimi Hendrix's guitar pick, which I procured, inside the ship that hit the moon that blew up everything at the end of that show.
I can neither confirm or deny that.
Do that. This, of course, Jimi Hendrix, just for any of our listeners who were aware, was an alien who lived there for many, many, many years, and then finally just had enough of it and escaped.
Well, I heard he choked on some sauce.
Yes, and that helped his escape. Yes, choked on or someone else's sauce. We're still not sure. You can't dust for sauce.
Penhaligon, if you had eaten your twin in the womb and came out on your own, would that have been a first?
Yes.
Has there ever been a birth where a singular child was born?
Well, one of the main prefects of our world was a leader, obviously, and when it was discovered that he was a singular birth, he was sent to Geminus I.
How did they not notice he didn't have a twin?
Yeah.
Well, prosthetic devices and someone of the same height and similar vocal quality.
Did he do one of those outfits where he has the stick and the mannequin next to him, and like every time he moved, it moved in sync with him?
Little bit, yes.
That no one noticed this.
People see what they want to see, Horatio.
Apparently so.
I think he probably impressed everybody with the synchronized dancing. They're like, wow, those twins are totally in sync.
I'm impressed.
Did he have a very wooden personality, unlifelike personality anyway? So people,
Yes.
that must be his twin.
It's like you were there.
I'm just making assumptions.
Well, he if Horatio was there, I could see the planet confusing him for like the mass of at least two people.
Yes.
Your banter. I mean, it's clear you're like brothers, and yet you have this lovely banter. And I must be honest with you. I sometimes wonder if I made the wrong choice, because I miss something. Some people have told me it's my twin, but I don't want to believe that.
No, why would you want to believe that?
No. Well, although you may want to check, things happen, organs fail, and usually the best match is from a twin. And as I have seen on Glandar, when people need to get things replaced, nose jobs, some people have in fact killed their twins and taken their noses.
Perhaps a dimple in the chin.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of dimple in the chin.
Very practical.
Yes. Could jump higher, so they take their legs. A lot of competition, and it's just easier. The body doesn't reject, the arms, legs, organs nearly as much as if you just randomly gotten one from somebody else.
Isn't it lovely to know that you can that your sibling is really just there for spare parts? I think that's wonderful. You can send a card that says "I need you," and you can mean it.
It's like having a department store for your vital bits. I mean, I often think of, those organs as, well, what they are, variety meats, but I've never quite put it in the thought of, this is my future.
I was wondering what that category was on the menu that said variety meats, and now I know it's just organs. Is that just organs?
It's awful.
Awful.
Not to be confused with awful.
But a lot of nutrients in that section.
Liver, I mean.
Horrible tasting, but good for you.
Yes.
Which is what a lot of people say about Horatio, I think.
I wonder.
Good, that I'm good for them? I thought it said I was yummy, but I was
horrible tasting, but well, yeah, you're probably not all that good for them either.
I would think I would be yummy, but I would probably not be healthy for you.
I don't know. On some planets, I think you'd make a delightful giblet gravy, but that's another story.
Oh, thank you. I make my own gravy, as it so happens.
Ooh.
Yes.
Do you start with a roux?
A roux? What is a roux?
some sort of fat and some sort of flour.
Oh, I have lots of fat. Yes, I have
God,
lots
he
of
is-
fat to start with.
He's probably 80% roux.
Yeah, sometimes I just keep a pan. I put my feet in a pan under the table here and just let the juices flow. Yeah.
You're making your own gravy right now.
Making my own gravy, yes.
I see.
You're making your own grave, is what I think. Are we going to be able to get you out of the booth?
Oh, I hope not. I don't want to leave the booth. Although I do need to make it over to the facilities every so often, and but I have a little cart for that.
I'm surprised you're calling it a little cart, because it's honestly, it's not that little.
It just looks little when I sit on it.
Relative to you, it is. But I mean, just standing there, if a normal person were to walk up to it, they'd be like, wow, this is like really big.
I couldn't help but flip to this particular nose in question here.
Oh, that nose, yes. I want to hear what you have to say about that nose.
That was my out on the town phase, where I was sneaking into a lot of higher events and functions. As you can see, slightly upturned
Yes.
to, convey the snobbishness required to just walk past the person with the clipboard and not be asked, "Sir, do you belong?"
Yes.
It worked every single time.
Yes.
But eventually, that scene gets old. It's a lot of people talking about their noses, and it's just, you're like, I'm not impressed. Not impressed. Time to move on. New nose.
Well, you went to a very rustic nose immediately following.
Yes. Very rustic. Going out to the woods, camping.
Is that what you were-
well, really more glamping than camping.
Yes,
Fair.
yes.
This body is not meant to really be in the elements for that long of a time.
You have to put another glaze on or something. To
Exactly.
protect it from the elements.
Exactly. But in the autumn and the fall, on whatever planet I happen to be on, bright reds, oranges on the nose, very impressive. And then it falls off, and that's when I had to go on to the next nose.
I'm going to skip a few pages ahead here. This is riveting, by the way.
Thank you.
Isn't it?
Oh, right.
That one I knew I was going to be hitchhiking and heading to Floratorium, and so I had 4 noses put on because I really wanted to get into the flowers that are on there. It's
Yes.
if you have a single nose, the experience just isn't the same. It's like smelling in 4D.
I'm running my finger over the page, and I can feel the breath coming in and out of the nose in the picture.
Well, I think, didn't you take that picture, Horatio, with the function that shoots like a bunch of them? It's a little animation.
Yes, it's essentially like a 3D printer photo.
Hmm.
Here's something fun. Boop it boop one of the nose. Boop it.
Oh. Oh!
And, yes, and you hear it say thank you. You heard it say,
Yes!
"Thank you."
That's
That was-
extraordinary.
Yes.
Now
yes.
that actually happened on the planet, and someone booped it, and I just reflexively punched them out.
Yes.
Because
Yeah, you don't
that's-
want to see their
that-
nose after that.
Because there are so many nose jobs on Glandar that if people are booping them within a day or two after surgery, they just fall off, and then people have to go back home or back to the office, get it put back on, and it's a whole thing. And so nobody boops anybody on Glandar. It's considered a highly, highly offensive gesture
Very dangerous.
because you're making people have to go back to the office.
Not to mention the paperwork.
Exactly. And getting insurance to cover that is a nightmare. Because like, wait, didn't you just get a nose put on? And you're like, yeah, but file this under boop.
File it under. Didn't once upon a time on Glandar, not to concentrate on Glandar too much, but didn't you once have duels of nose booping? Wasn't that a form of dueling? Was nose boop?
It was booping at one pace.
Booping, yeah, because you really
Because
don't want to.
it started off at 10 paces, but then nobody could
It's hard to read.
Nobody could touch each other. No,
Oh, you see him cry.
nobody could.
I can feel the emotion.
Oh,
This is a very emotional moment for him.
Trellis, do you need to be held?
I think he does.
Do you need to be held? You're obviously. Oh, Trellis, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring
sorry.
up such a sad part of your planet's
sorry.
history.
Ugh.
Here.
So
I
many
have
duels. So many duels remained unsettled. It is, you wouldn't believe it. They just hung there for centuries because apparently nobody figured out they could only take one. They could just take one step and then boop each other.
Good heavens.
Just like so unsatisfying. So, just booping it at air. Just not as satisfying.
Both hands. They're just sitting there like flailing. trying to boop each other's noses, and they weren't even close to each other.
That's where the expression slapping air came from on your planet, wasn't it? It just means doing not just something unsatisfying. It's just flapping air.
Oh,
The unpooped nose.
I'm moving on to the last nose in this book, and it is oddly not the nose you currently sport.
No.
Well, I take the picture right before I get the new nose.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Right, just see what he's leaving behind.
It's like I'm saying goodbye to an old friend, in a way.
Wait a minute. Every one of these noses is unique and singular. You have created an entire encyclopedia of singular noses.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
My goodness, where will the next nose be inspired by?
That's a good question. Do you think your twin would want their nose?
Oh.
Well,
Because I really do like your nose. Your nose is
It
very
is wonderful.
It's
it looks like a baby's nose.
yes.
It's a wonderful baby, an adorable baby's nose.
It is a very adorable little baby nose.
And I'm keeping mine, so
Right, exactly. No, I would never ask you to give up your nose because that might affect. And I'm assuming you, when the spice orders come in, you got to smell them.
Definitely.
Make sure they're right. I would never want that process to be messed up in any way, shape, or form because if that gets messed up, the wham bam gets messed up, and then you might actually see Horatio get angry.
no.
You do not want that. You don't.
No, I mean, you dip everything in that sauce.
Yes, I will dip, and I dip my anger in sauce, and
Oh,
then it just sauce-covered anger, just flailing about. The whole room will be covered. I will spin.
I mean, at the very least, you're going to get a chance to run because his stomach will growl first.
Yes.
we've heard it.
Early warning system.
Horatio, we have heard your stomach all the way in the kitchen. And
How could you not?
how could you not? I mean, we've heard it over Max as he's trying to, entertain people. Here's the thing, and I just have to ask you, is there anything on the menu you haven't tried?
I will say there is a page that says diet, and I don't know what the word means, but it frightens me, and I just stayed away from that section because it does have the word die in it, and I thought perhaps these foods would kill me.
He tried to read it initially in his fancy words.
Yes.
And he just read die. He dropped the T, and I was like, no, Horatio, it's diet, which is just as horrible to him as dying. So
Yes.
that's where that whole thing came. Stop trying to be so upper crust, Horatio. All right.
I'm going to talk to the printer and have that word removed for something like, lower in grams of energy and...
Calories.
I am surprised you even use the word calorie. A lot of people...
I did. Oh, now I feel bad.
It's all right.
Oh, now I feel something in my stomach. It's
Let me get a dessert out to you quickly.
Oh, thank you.
Now, Penhaligon,
Right.
we're gonna give you. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. I'm telling you. You're gonna want to boop my nose when I tell you this, but don't.
I won't.
But don't.
Can I come back on the day that you're getting it replaced and boop it?
Yes.
Oh my...
Because then I'm saying goodbye to it anyways. It's coming off. You may boop my soon-to-be-gone nose.
You can have it. I'm going to go ahead and offer his former nose to you.
I will add it to my collection of singular objects.
Oh, wonderful.
We're going to give you a singular entry in the guide.
Oh, your own entry.
Oh my land.
Very exciting, isn't it?
What would you like us to... Well, Horatio, have you been hopefully taking your notes?
I have not good ones, but I've been taking notes. Yes.
What jumps out at you? What singular word? I mean, it's going to be in one word, so it's a singular. We're not even going to put well, unless you really want it. We could just make it one word, but if you really want to make sure everyone knows it's you, Penhaligon, :
Finder of unique things.
That's not one word.
Oh, is there a synonym for that? A one-word synonym for finder of unique things?
Unique.
That's my word!
Yes,
There you
unique.
go.
There we go. That's good. I like that. That's much better than what I...
All right, I'm going to type that in. Type it in. Since if the G is silent, do I have to type it?
Type it. Just touch the key.
Okay.
Just brush.
You know what? I'll change the spelling of my name for you, Trellis.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Here on this day, and I will be the only Penhaligon in my family with that spelling, and therefore I will be unique.
yes. I have one.
There
one
we go.
thing to ask.
I'm going to hit the enter.
Hit the entry. I did want to ask you for one thing. If you said you can find unique things, when you come back to see us, and I hope you do, if you could find a pen that will hold endless amounts of sauce for my writing.
Oh.
Well, her name does begin with Pen, so I think this is a
Yes.
perfect quest.
Right up my street, isn't it? Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, one that's a self-refilling saucepan. So if you happen to find something like that, I would be delighted with it.
Horatio, I will find that for you.
I thank you.
Well, Penhaligon, this has been fantastic.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Such an honor.
Taking me down a little stroll down Nose Memory Lane.
Is it a lane, an avenue, or a boulevard?
Oh, I love the way you think.
I'd say street, but Horatio would just pronounce it Stree.
And that would be confusing.
I'm going to go with Boulevard.
3.
Thank you for joining us for Hitchhikers and Appetizers. And of course, special thanks goes to our guest, Penhaligon Rutherfordium. I have been Trellis Gardeen.
And I continue to be Horatio Zinn. Until next time, keep your towels clean, and if your body parts have been rearranged in a beaming accident, it's the perfect opportunity to learn to write with your earlobe. So don't panic. Everything you heard in this episode was improvised, but not everything improvised was heard. This episode of Hitchhikers and Appetizers featured the voice talents of Mike Gorgone as Trellis Gardeen, Brian Peacock as Horatio Zinn, and Diana Brown as Penhaligon Rutherfordium. Finally, Hitchhikers and Appetizers is part of the Improv in Action Network. Check out other great improvised podcasts and projects at improvinaction.com. If you'd like to reach out to Trellis or Horatio, you can send electronic messages to them at our Galaxy address, hitchappspodcast@gmail.com. Or you can find them on Twitter with the handle hitchapps.
Shut up and sit down.
Wow.